Let's go. You lead the way. Where are we headed? Towards a net zero future, of course. Cleaner water, more electricity, a sustainable society. That's the destination we've set ourselves. This we know. Yes, we know exactly where we're going, but we need to get there quicker. So, let's build on the progress we've already made by working and walking together. With the right partners, tools and ideas, we'll become an unstoppable force. This we know. Right now, there are businesses who are putting technology and sustainability at the heart of everything they do. Brave leaders turning maybes into realities and building something better for everyone. Now is the time to look to the future and reinvent ourselves today, empowering others to do the same tomorrow. Yes, we know what the future holds, and we know how to get there. So, let's take charge of the journey today.
Welcome to our school board meeting.
Namaskar.
Hello.
Hi.
Spiffio, access in any language.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for being with us this afternoon, this morning. Depends on the area that you are connecting to us. A big welcome from Zamora School, from Trilema Foundation. We've been nominated for health education category in the prizes, and we would like to share with you why health is so important for us. Zamora School is a small school in the west area of Spain where population is a big challenge because the birth rate is going down and down. And we have a very diverse school and a big commitment to inclusion and innovation. In that context, we've developed several programs to actually reach each of the ages that attend the school. We have children from zero, babies of a few weeks old, to youngsters that are doing vocational training in health studies and independency. That means care of the elderly. So the school has made a very big holistic approach to develop different initiatives, programs, activities to make a real community that work together and share experience and knowledge together. From that point, we're going to try this afternoon to share with you some of the programs that we think are easier to be shared and to be actually put into practice in other schools and in other parts of the planet. Fluye and El Talento de la Senectud are the two main projects we will present this afternoon. But we have as well the head of studies from Zamora, Eva, who's going to share with us as well why health is important as a community to be part of the culture of a school. Paco, Francisco, he is one of the main authors of Fluye, the big program that reaches children from 3 to 11 and is actually committed to train teachers, to train canteen monitors, to train families, and to share with the communities all the knowledge about a holistic health idea that nowadays is being shared already from more than 150 schools around the country. And Miguel, he is with us to present especially the program to do with vocational training. It's a very innovative project that we have been developing in the last 2 years, and in fact, it's just started to be running in 4 schools, one of them Zamora. And that is got to do with a very human way to approach the care of the most vulnerable elderly and ill people that are in homes or that can be at home thanks to the program or the project that we are developing. So we're going to be quite fast and we're going to start with a little video that we've prepared for you so you can see like a window to our school and some of the scenes mainly to do with Fluye. And we'll give the word to Paco afterwards so he can tell us a bit more about Fluye.
Fluye has very motivating materials as an emotional cloud called Emosin and his friend Dronita. That is a drone and different superheroes, giants, and a dossier of emotions.
I love Emosin! I love learning with the giants.
It is a global project that upgrades the habit change through motivating materials and characters. Family participation is the base of the project power. Thanks to this, the family lives show the impact that these new and good habits have on them.
Thanks to Fluye, I control my emotions and I know how my body reacts in different moments.
Pupils have improved the initiative to drink water, take care of their feeding, and given the importance of breathing and control emotion.
Well, our daughters are 8 and 9 years old. The meaning of flow is different for each of them. One of them usually wants fruits and the other wants to do more sports. At home, we have good eating habits, and we think that the reinforcements given by the schools makes everything easier.
What has caught my attention the most about the Fluye project is the passport. It's a booklet with very visual and easy to feel activities for preschoolers. It serves for children to remember the hydration, physical activities, the night rest, the night rest is here, and healthy diet of the day. In my opinion, it is a fun way to make them evaluate how healthy they was and encourage them to improve their efforts to establish healthy lifestyle habits.
Because as UNESCO said, life competence gives students freedom, independence, and autonomy in their daily life in the school.
Well, thanks to our colleagues for practicing English and trying to express what Fluye is, but nobody better than Paco to actually share with us why and how Fluye started. Paco.
Okay, a lot of thanks to everybody. Okay, I had to decide, and I had to choose if I had the interested and funny option to explain Fluye, or the most boring but interested. In the end, I think it's better to explain with a little boring, only a little, but yes, more interesting. I'm not going to explain the characters and the universe that we have created for Fluye. I'm going to explain the psychology and the studies that Fluye had in his basis. The first of everything is why Fluye. Okay, we have a problem with the overweight in our children, and the most of the people that has met Fluye are teachers, and they are very in the day. They are very interested in changing things, not only overweight. The way to improve the way of thinking, the way of being better people, and in all the dimensions of the people. And this is the reason why Fluye borns. We want to change things, as we saw in the beginning in the video, not only in the dimension of the physical dimension of the people, with the environment, with the self-knowledge, and with the relationships with the other. Those are the four walls where Fluye is supported. The first of everything, I think it's important to know that there are a lot of hours of study under Fluye, and a lot of psychology, a lot of pedagogy for teaching the best way Fluye. And I would like to make you 4 questions, okay? Because if you think a little in one of them, it will help you to understand the philosophy of Fluye. First of everything, what do you think? What's better for our pupils? Our school is near the beach, near the forest, or in the city? I'm not going to give the answer. I invite you to read and to practice with Fluye. It has the answer, and it's a very interesting study under this question. If you can see in the presentation, the first of everything, you see the importance of the environment and the things that surround us for studying, for improve our brain, and it's one of the most interesting things that Fluye has. The second of them is the self-knowledge. And the question that I would like to make you is, what's the age, the better age to start the self-knowledge? What's to be a good knowledge of everyone? And it has the answer too. It's in Fluye, and it's something that we teach to our pupils from 3 to the end. We have a lot of levels of pupils, and we teach this to all of them. One of the most important parts of Fluye is the relationship with the other people. And the question I do is, has the empathy a limit? We always talk about the empathy, and we know it's very important, but do we have to practice if the empathy has a limit? Where do we have to finish to empathize with other people? It's other question that we'll have in Fluye. And for the last one, the good habits. For training the good habits, we have designed a lot of characters, big giants, and they will show us the way to take the habits in the best form. And not only best habits are washing your hands, not to practice good habits because we have to do it. We would like to teach and show our pupils the reason why we have to do it and the consequences that has if we don't practice. And this is something that the giants of the Fluye could show us. And I think it's a big show about Fluye, and the four important goals. A very interesting thing is that we had we were worried because we didn't know if Fluye will work. But now we are very happy because we have a big research, a scientific research, very long and a very detailed research about the consequences in our pupils of having Fluye. And it gives us the reason that Fluye works. And this is a good news for us and something that we celebrate because it's the way that the things are well done. And as you can see, here we have some of the pupils of Fluye, and they are playing. We always think that learning while you are playing is the best way of learning, and this is something that, in the same way that always we have so in Fluye, always the science is under our project Fluye. And this is my little contribution.
Thank you very much to Paco. And now we give the word to Eva. Eva is not only the health studies, but she's a teacher as well, and she's been teaching the kids so many of the strategies and characters that Paco was describing a minute ago. Eva?
Yeah, thank you, Carmen. Hi, hello, good afternoon, good morning. It's a pleasure for me to share with you some initiative of healthy living that promotes these habits in our school. I have to, when I describe this, we make 4 parts of the initiatives, and in this first part, I would like to talk about solidarity initiative that we have promoted in the school in these last years. For us, students of Trilema Zamora organized a solidarity sale of the products that they harvested in their school garden, a school garden that we have in the playground, and that they take care with the teachers and with the classmates. And we have promoted some move yourself for autism, that it was a walk from Duero River here near to the school with Autism Association here in Foundation here in Zamora. And in this row, we met the character of the school, that is a chameleon. And it is a chameleon because we think that our school have a very high diversity in our students, and that diversity help us to share and to adapt to different environment too. And another solidarity initiative that we have in our school is our healthy canteen. In this canteen, students can go when they have their recess in their classes, and they can buy different sandwiches or different yogurt or fruit, and they can share a moment there with the classmate playing or reading a book. It's important for us because the benefit that we have in this canteen is shared with the training that we have with some schools in Mojon and Mbini, and throughout the association about learning together. Another part of the following initiative that we have is because we want to become Trilema Zamora an equality school. No, so we have the center has a mixed school team that play from years in the local league. It's very motivating for them because it promotes the sport inequality. No, we also one day we organize different activities in the education stage in the center, and children will create several stories in which they can learn about different things. In the picture you can see some secondary students that are learning about science and women in science. We also create work about emotion and learning. For us, the collaboration of family is very important in the school, And that's the reason that we celebrate what we are learning. We do learning celebration when we open a school and students show their family what they are learning at the school. Emotional education is very important for us too, and it helps us to learn and to educate what they are watching and what they are seeing now. And at the end, I would like to talk about to become Trilema Zamora a green school. Some different prizes that we have take, like an efficient technology contents award by Naturgy, where a secondary student too work to build up efficient city. We celebrate 3 days when we plant different with different trees in the playground, and we help the environment, and we like to promote in our children healthy mobility, helping them to come to school by bike or scooter.
Okay, thank you, Eva. I'm sure the words cannot show the enthusiasm and happiness that you can actually breathe when you get into Zamora school. So I'll just take the chance to invite everybody to visit us there. And now pass the word to Miguel, who's going to tell us about the work we're doing as well with the elder students that are taking with us courses on vocational training on the health area. Miguel? We're going to actually watch this very short video about this new program we are developing. So if we can watch the video. Okay, Miguel, all yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. In order to understand better the program, the talent of Senescence, I would like to highlight three main important aspects regarding Trilema Zamora. The first one, in order to understand it, is the background and the context that we face every day in our school. The first one, as I was saying, is the unemployment rates. They are very high in our school community, the high percentage of elderly people, and the depopulation. I mean, we've got lots of young people that they are moving to the big cities in Spain and they are leaving the rural areas. Due to this reality, we are facing that some of the elderly people, they are being looked after with non-qualified students or not qualified workers. Our idea in Trilema Zamora is to integrate among our students and give them the continuity to this program that we are presenting to you with Fluye and the talent of Senescence. What does it mean, the talent of Senescence? Is it a new program of a specialization for students, as Carmen said, in the middle level of vocational training, in nurturing, assistant, or dependency, focused on the humanization of care for dependent and elderly people? This program offers or promotes a telecare model, as we are seeing in the PowerPoint in the presentation. It's a telecare model, which means or which is focused and to contribute the safety, the autonomy, and the permanent care from home of the elderly people. For us, it's very important to lay the technology on the hands of both the experts and the elderly people in order to put them the safety, as I was saying, the autonomy, because they don't want to go or to move to the nursery. They prefer staying at home. So the idea is with this technology, we can control and we can rely on the experts that we are training in our school in order to give them the chance to stay and remain in their home, in their homes. And the other aspect is the humanization of care, as I was saying. This project, it has an important component on technological innovation. For us, this is very important because the national curriculum behind the vocational training, it does not respond to reality. So we decided to ask people, to ask our students in order to give answers to these three main criteria or three main data that I gave it to you at the beginning. So for us, the technological innovation in this area of care, which means the simulation in our students of self-care of the elderly. So in our school in Zamora, we have opened a new area and a specific room, which has been domotized, or we put technology in the room in order to show students how they can remotely control and look after these elderly people, favoring and extending their stay, as I said, in their own homes of the elderly people. And on the other hand, we have designed a model of digital remote assistant that improves the quality of life and autonomy. This scenario requires transforming training with a specialization in telemedicine and digital assistance for the students of the vocational training. For us, this humanization of care, it is very important because we are working with Cuidados Dignos, which is a foundation, and they've got a lead, which is the importance of caring without or within strings. So this is very important because we have created some modules, 2 modules, in order to transmit to our students the importance of dignifying, as we are seeing, of dignifying care and caring to mental health on both patients and caregivers, whether professionals or family members. And the last aspect, and is related to the concept of unemployment and depopulation, for us, we have included an entrepreneur module or area in this course in order to give women, because the attendance on this course is we've got more women in this course. So for us, it's very important that they play an important role. So we need to generate job, and the idea is that we can create like micro enterprises, which means that a qualified woman with the certification in this module, they can control, they can care, they can look after not only one person, they can use technology in order to attend different other people, for instance, 7 or 8. So we generate jobs, which is very important. We qualify our students, and we give reason for them to stay and remain in this region in Zamora, that for us is very important in order to remain and to continue to have the opportunity to continue with our training and with our school in Zamora. Thank you, Carmen.
Okay, thank you very much to Miguel, Eva, and Paco. I was listening to everything, and I was thinking, so much more to say about what we do in Zamora, in the school with the children, and the sense of community and the links to the local community as well in the school is building in the last years. Right, we get now some questions. I'm going to read them all. The first one is for Paco, and it's got to do with your questions. Somebody is saying, Dami is saying, I know you said you couldn't answer the questions, but I'm very interested in hearing what Trilema approach to empathia. Does empathy have a limit to you? As I feel, it's not something you can easily teach. How do you transmit it and work around it with students?
Okay. 2 things. First of all, I apologize for my English, and I give you a thanks for the question. Yes, we think and we teach that the empathy has a limit. I would like you imagine that you are a doctor and you are working with terminal people, terminal patients, or you are something that you are every day and every hour surrounded by pain or by suffering. You need to put a limit to the empathy, and it's needed. If you don't do it, you'll have a big problem. We always teach that empathy is something very interesting, something very useful, and something very beauty. But empathy is not only to wear the boots of the other people, to put in the skin of the other people. Is that you want to help them. Is the empathy in the way that we teach. And like everything, you have to be very clear with the limits of this for you to be good and you can help to the other people. It is what I was speaking before about the limits of the empathy, and it's something very well explained in Fluye. I would like you to read it and invite you to do it, or if you want, I can explain it later if you want. But it's something that we understand that in the beginning you can think the limits of empathy, yes, because it's good for you to be good and you help to the other people.
Okay, as Paco said, we had a website at the moment, mainly in Spanish, with many resources, lots of videos, children's stories that you can actually unload. Many of them are actually, of the resources are translated. And we use a lot of narrative pedagogy to work with the youngest. And then we invite, especially, I'm sure Paco agrees with me, to jump into the emotions portfolio, where you could see how you actually can deal with the basic emotions and what are the steps. We use a 5 steps model, how we work with children, not only with emotion is positive, but what happens when it's negative, or what happens with the emotions that people think are negative and then actually can have a positive side to them. And it's a very big reflection, and it'd be lovely for you to see some of the reflections and the results that the children actually show in emotional part of the project. In fact, we've had a validation from the Autónoma University of Madrid, which is the most prestigious university in Spain, and they've been validating the emotional part of the project for 3 years, and the results are amazing in terms of how they grow and they mature in the way they deal with all the emotions and the conflicts that sometimes they cause in growing. The next question, yeah, sorry.
I don't know if it's possible to make a little question to the. Is it possible?
Try, yeah. 2 minutes.
Okay, because 50 seconds. We like to do with questions. We think it's a good way to open the teaching. It's something that we make in our schools, and I would like to make you the question: has the happiness a limit? Let's say that empathy is good to have an upper limit to the happiness, and the answer, like Carmen said, is yes. And when you are interested in the questions, you want to learn more, and you have a more efficient learning. Sorry.
Okay. Next one is for Eva. We don't have much time, but Eva, Josefina is asking, what does healthy lives means to you and your community in the school?
I think that it's very clear in the video that we have seen before at first in this presentation, because families and students and teachers and everything in community is conscious of well-being, and well-being is just not to eat is healthy or to move or to do exercise. It's more than that, no? It's relation with all the study that we are talking about empathy, and that develop all this in our community. And I think that is the important part, no? To develop all these aspects and to do it together, just as a group.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we in the beginning of the project, the school project, not just Fluye, but all the initiatives, we used to use the 1948 definition by the World Health Organization. You know, it says health is more than physical health; it's emotional, it's mental, it's spiritual as well. Health. And I think that holistic approach is something that we try to put in all our projects. Right. Don't think it's any more time or questions anyway, so we'll go to the last part, and I just want to summarize some of the key steps to actually replicate or use the projects. I must say first that we are very happy to share any resources that any school around the planet would like to use. Lots of things we're trying to share in English as much as possible, but these 5 keys. The first one is this concept of health that I was actually saying. So we used to say when we started exploring the project that we didn't, it's not enough to show the kids what to do. You have to make them desire to do the right thing. And you have to make sure they actually have the personality to be consistent, persistent doing so. So we introduce body image, personal hygiene, healthy breakfast, physical exercise, self-esteem, food repertoire, Mediterranean diet in the kids' programs. And in the adolescents and youngsters, we've introduced a mixture of emotional balance, healthcare, and technology use, which is very important nowadays. The second one is because they are very ecosystemic projects, both of them. Because they involve teachers. We have a lot of teaching training, all digitalized and to be able, this is all obviously taped in Spanish, but we do a lot of training for teachers, for preparing teachers to create their own resources. We involve the families, and the effects on families are amazing. And the students, and as well the canteen monitors, people who deal with the breakfast in the school or the lunches, school lunches, and of course, with the elderly, we involve as well all different NGOs and organizations that are actually dealing with this new way to humanize care through as well telemedicine and all the facilities that progress is bringing us. As Miguel mentioned, we have an agreement, alliance with one big Ashoka Fellow Foundation, Ana Urrutia and Sin Sujeción, that is been working for years in changing the way we approach the care of the elderly, which has been certainly very, very important in the years of the pandemic. In the third place, the third key is the very, very systemic and rigorous projects. I sometimes say that we use schools and laboratories, and we cannot make experiments with children. When we set up a big project like these ones, is because we have certainty that are going to be really effective. And we've just had the first results, as you can see from Fluye in the screen. The Autonomous of Madrid is talking about the enormous transformative power that in terms of emotional education has. They actually have said how important is the critical impact that is having in family habits and how it's sustained over the years. And then in Zaragoza team, the GENUD Research Group, which is an international big group that is doing things on nutrition and alimentation, you have some of the quota there. 20% of the children improved the fruit and vegetables intake. 10% started to eat pulses, which is a big thing here. 16% of the children started to have cereals and decent breakfast in the morning, and there's a very significant increase in the consumption of water. So we have clinical as well evidences of how it's impacting in the health of the kids. The fourth one is technology is an ally that can actually be expanded. We digitalize the projects, the training for the care, for the programs, for the vocational training is all now digital, so it can be shared with any schools. And Fluye means a very big investment over these years, and we're translating it to several languages in the near future. So it's accessible, and it can be easily unloaded, many of the materials from the websites. And as Paco said, we are willing and open to contact any of the schools that is interested in having it with very, very little cost. And we've actually piloted both projects in very different environments. We have schools in our network in Africa, in Guinea Equatorial, and in 7 different countries in Latin America, and in very different contexts and types of schools here in Spain. It's very, very engaged with a skills curriculum and gives lots of possibilities as well for initiatives in non-formal education. So really it's very easy to actually be able to adapt it to any circumstances or contexts in different schools. And just to finish a few minutes, I think we've actually run so much that now we have a bit of a spare time. This is a beautiful picture of one of the celebrations of learning. In fact, Fluye, the big program with the kindergarten and primary school children, has like a 50 to 60 hours direct teaching time with each of the years. So it's a very, very ambitious and very systemic approach to intervene and change children's lives. And I saved that one in Spanish, create a happy memory, because we like to say that school is a chance to create that happy memory that most of our children, we have in Zamora, in the other schools as well of the foundation, we attend very vulnerable populations, and we are living, as many of you probably, a big economical crisis in the next few months. And we always say that children don't have a chance to choose where they are born, who are their parents or their facilities, how much money they have, or what, even sometimes if they have a chance to eat or not eat breakfast at home. They don't choose what happens in their lives, but a good school can make them choose who they are in the future. And that is creating the happy memories of what life can be if you're surrounded from a healthy, in the deepest sense, a very healthy and happy life. That's why we baptize Fluye as that Fluye, happy and healthy kids, because both things are together. And I think it depends most on us, on the teachers and on the schools. And we are doing that in schools that have hardly any resources and have a very hard conditions, like we are doing Fluye in some parts of Africa, for example. And still, we are seeing, we have many evidences of how it's changing the kids' lives. So many thanks to everybody, thanks to the participants, to Paco, Eva, and Miguel. Thanks, obviously, to the world's best school prizes. Thanks for the nomination. Really, we didn't make it to the final, but actually being nominated is meant a big difference for Zamora. After the nomination, we had many families coming to school, many people who had never heard of it, and thanks to the nomination, actually came to our school, and we've had a substantial increase in the matriculation, in the intake of children. So we're really, really happy and really grateful for this nomination, and for everybody that is working to make this possible. I think we learn from each other, and we hope our experience can actually give other schools as well some inspiration to change and to make things better for every child of the planet. Thank you very much.